What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It has been a long time since I've talked about Drone Delivery Canada, and in the last few weeks here, the stock has more than doubled and they have put out some very exciting press releases. So in this video, we're going to do a quick update and I'm going to share my thoughts about what is happening. Let's go. Okay, so this morning we got a big press release that is actually moving the market right now, and it is that DDC has announced multiple agreements as part of the second phase project at Edmonton International Airport. They're basically expanding the project that is going on right there, and they have secured contracts worth $417,000 over a 12-month period, which is very, very exciting as far as I'm aware. That's the largest contract that at least I've seen, or at least that they've published. And so this is really good news. It's a huge contract, and it's a customer that is expanding after a first phase, which is the best case scenario. So this is super, super positive. I'm actually really impressed by this, and it's a great press release. Earlier than that, about a week before that, January 11th, DDC Drone Care Project commercially operational. This one is very exciting. This is the two healthcare hospitals, Halton Healthcare Services, and basically they're running drones in between these two hospitals. This was an exciting project, kind of a small to medium-sized project, but it is now commercially operational, which is a very good sign, very good news. And just 2 days before that, they got approval for beyond visual line of sight. So again, another positive press release. They're basically moving forward in the regulatory process, and they're getting more and more approvals. They're getting more and more projects. And over the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks here, the start of 2024, they have made excellent progress. So very nice to see. Now, all of that good news has actually had a major impact on the stock chart here. If you look at this, you can see that starting on like the 8th and 9th of January here, the stock price was trading at like 16 and 17 cents, and it's now trading at 38.5 cents at the close of market on the 18th of January as I'm filming this video. And so it has more than doubled, and not only that, but we have seen a drastic and dramatic increase in volume and attention going towards this stock. Now, a couple of things that I want to point out here. Number one, we are still well below where we were at basically this time last year. So on the 12-month kind of time frame, we're still down. And then on top of that, you can just look at this chart here over the last basically 2 years, and you can see that this sort of thing has happened before. We have jumped from 21 cents all the way up to 55 cents and then made our way back down to 15 cents. And so I don't want to get my hopes up. However, from a technical perspective, it looks very positive. We're breaking through resistance, both horizontally on our price level and our trend line. Our moving averages are crossing over, and the stock price has crossed above our moving averages. Very bullish sign. We also have an increase in volume as the price is moving higher, and we are closing at the top of our green candle, and the MACD looks very strong. So from a technical standpoint here, the stars are aligning and everything is saying buy, buy, buy. I'm just pointing out to you here that this kind of thing has happened before with the stock. I'm not saying that it's going to happen again, but it's something to keep in mind. A couple other things to keep in mind here. Balance sheet. At the last report on September 30th, they had $8.9 million of cash and cash equivalents. When it comes to cash flow in the last quarter, they also burned about 1.6 to kind of $1.7 million of that cash. And so they are burning through this cash at, let's just call it $6 million per year, and they have 9 in the bank. And so I do expect a fundraise here in the next little while. And if I am the CEO looking at my stock price more than double, this might be an opportune time to raise some funds depending on what is on the horizon here. And so I think over the next 12 months here, they're going to have to raise some money. Because I'd be surprised if they became any type of cash flow positive in the next 12 months. However, they have made great progress to start the year, so I want to commend them for that. I've made a couple of harsh videos that weren't very positive, so amazing start to the year. Now it's just a race against time. It's literally a race of can they become or can they bring in enough income and generate enough profit to not need to go out and raise money. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. Maybe raising money isn't the end of the world. Who knows? It all just depends on your perspective. But it is likely, in my opinion, going to be something that they might have to consider here, especially if they are planning to scale up quickly. But very exciting times for the company. Very excited to see what the next set of financials will look like. So if you want to see that, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try and put that video out as soon as those financials are released. And if you're interested in my thoughts, here's what I think. Number one, I hope this company does well and the stock goes higher. I want to make that very clear. I think of myself as a supporter of this company, but I also think of myself as a brutally honest investor that's going to hold them accountable if they don't perform or live up to what they say they're going to try and do. So that's my position on this, but I want them to do well. I want everybody at that company to do well. I want the employees to do well. I want the executives. I want everybody to do well. Next thing, though, is that I think there's a fundraise coming just based on the financials, but that's just my opinion. You can look at them yourself and determine that based on your own accord. Next thing here, these 3 press releases to start the year were great. They've got an approval from regulators, they got a commercially operational project, and they just landed a big new contract. You couldn't ask for much more to start the year from a company like this, so that is very nice to see. The concern in the back of my head, though, is that competition is getting larger and fiercer, and there's going to be more and more competition. Just in the last week or two here, DJI, the company that's famous for drones, has just launched a very specific cargo delivery drone that can deliver up to like 30 kilograms. And it has all the bells and whistles and features that it looks like you might need in a delivery drone, including the parachute, including autonomous flying, including everything you need. So it's going to be interesting to see how the competition kind of falls in behind Drone Delivery Canada. It feels like DDC might be sort of clearing the way and creating the pathway for drones to exist. And so it's going to be interesting to see who comes in behind them with maybe an off-the-shelf drone that they write some software for and try and integrate and just follow in the regulations and then compete with DDC. So it's going to be interesting to see how that sort of battle unfolds over the next 5 to 10 years. But that's long-term. In the short term here, stock is on the rise. Very, very exciting. I'm watching this one closely, and I hope they do well. I hope everybody that's invested in it does extremely well. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you got value out of this video or you want to see the next update video on the financials, click that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you there. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.